Hello, everyone, and welcome to the FTS podcast, Friends Talking Shop, post-Super Bowl edition. I'm Dave, and I think opening lines are quite clever.
Wow. I don't even know how to follow that.
See?
That's very good.
Say something clever and introduce yourself, by the way.
Oh, boy, that's tough.
Calling it clever doesn't make it clever.
Well, no, that's the clever part about it. That's what's clever about it.
Well,
my sister has a theory. The more often an individual uses the word classy to describe things, the less classy that individual probably is.
Is that your intro?
That's a good intro.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's not.
Well, you still haven't introduced yourselves yet.
I'm Omar, and I have a big announcement to make. FTS has its first sponsor ever. There's a lot of demand. Lou & Co. is an official sponsor of FTS.
Lou & Co. How the hell did we get them?
Well, Lou & Co. up until 2 days ago was louandco.com, was a hair salon in Topeka, Kansas.
And you bought them out?
Oh, did you get
them out?
Oh,
so we now officially own louandco.com.
Did they hold out at all?
Yes,
they did.
It was not. I'll tell you what it was. It wasn't Kansas prices. It wasn't Topeka prices.
No. Well, it's the name of their business. I mean,
was the problem you were getting calls about high cut fades?
We will have options for perms, blowouts, and colorings. Just to continue the
so you're pivoting because of their success and their brand?
That was part of their negotiation. That we have a 17-year history of cutting people's hair in Topeka, Kansas. So that's the thing.
And so do you cut people's hair for basis points?
Yes. Yeah. We cut basis points off.
It's a flat fee plus an incentive for the haircut.
We cut basis points off, not just your performance, but also your hair.
Oh my God.
All right, Josh, introduce yourself.
I am Josh, and I'm the only one who got the Super Bowl correct.
Oh, that's true.
Isn't
By the
that
way,
right?
And Omar is the only one that went to the Super Bowl. Do you have any reports?
Well, he's not. There were 80,000 others.
That's the only. I stand corrected. Boy, you got to make sure you say the right thing on this podcast. That's for darn sure.
Omar, is true.
You were at the Super Bowl. Any highlights you want to share with us?
Besides getting an incredible amount of face paint put on, which was
I saw that.
Yeah.
What did you call me?
So Omar, just for our listener, Omar painted his whole face as a Bengal, and I saw that picture, and I called him Mr. Mistopheles.
Yes.
You don't get that one, Dave. Dave's what if I said Rum Tum Tugger, Dave? Would that help? Rum Tum Tugger.
I know Tigger from Winnie the Pooh. Is it?
No, this was more highbrow. This was Broadway Cats. He looked like
I see Cats once.
Looked like he just came out of a rendition of Memories.
Yeah. The halftime show was wonderful. It's usually not good. And the way the game ended, it was fine. I mean, the best part of the game was the end when we got a taxi and we went to In-N-Out Burger and we took the taxi driver with us, Junior.
Inside?
Yep, he joined.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Oh wow.
That was
taxi or an Uber?
Taxi.
Very nice. Yeah, but it was a fun. It's Super Bowl at the halftime. You were concerned about the halftime show, if I recall. You thought
I was.
Violence.
There was no controversy, although I guess Eminem took a knee. That was more of a cap.
Yeah, it was nothing.
No one really noticed.
Yeah. I thought the halftime show was awesome.
Well, apparently there's been a big debate. If you thought it was awesome, you were old.
Right, that's right. I'm willing to admit that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Wasn't my cup of tea. I realized I had took the 80s music in my life and extended it for 2 more decades and then re-engaged in popular music. Like none of that was, someone said, we all know California, right? I said, nope.
Wow.
Yeah.
So were you expecting Kendrick Lamar to hand it off to Depeche Mode?
Yeah. Boy George.
That would have worked. That would have worked for me. Yes. Hologram of Prince. Give it to me.
Oh, Prince is awesome, but Prince spans decades.
Yeah. Was it that your Super Bowl with the Eagles was when they did the hologram with Prince, right?
It was Adam Levine, and he did a tribute to Prince because it was in Minneapolis.
Yeah, and then
his hometown.
Was the Prince's family upset?
The guitar solo.
It was awesome. That was a great one too.
So you ready to start the podcast?
Let's do it.
All right, ready? 3, 2. No, we've already started. All right. I will go first. I didn't have a very good topic until we started talking. We had a little bit of a pre-production discussion, and I went ahead and did it. It's just another sports one. We seem to be kind of focused on sports, but here's
Imagine 3 men in their 40s.
Yeah. You were like what Seinfeld's, well, I guess that's guys in their 20s. They only like 3 things. I want to date her. I want that. And I want those guys to win, right? That's
Right.
What are we now in the 40s? We want those guys to win. I want to go to bed. I guess, I don't know.
And I want a clean colonoscopy.
That's it. So this is my topic for this week. Anyway, for those that are listening for the first time, which is weird because it's just 3 of us that listen to it, is that we come up with topics that we don't prepare ahead of time, and we discuss it, and usually we solve the problems that we have, or make witty banter about the topic that we have. My topic this week is this happens post the Green Bay
Wait,
Packers.
hold on a second. I mean, you just did it again.
What?
We're clever. You just because you're calling our banter witty doesn't make it witty.
Listen, you don't.
First,
that may be true for you, but for like 90% of America, that's not true. They don't understand that. You tell them it's witty, they think it's witty.
you have to drill it into them, Omar.
Right.
Why are they listening?
Mm-hmm.
If people are so at such that level of you, you're not listening to this podcast in the first place. We're appealing to the masses.
So, Omar, it's a good thing you didn't go into advertising. Because it'd be like, hey, Coca-Cola, it might be good. It's up to you. I don't know. Drink Coke.
That's right.
Got it.
You'd end up buying a hair salon in Kansas if you did.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
All right, so here's my topic for this week. So after the Packers lost the last time in the playoffs when I expected that they should win, I've decided to take sports into a new direction. And again, I feel like we're repeating some of these things that we haven't had that many, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to treat sports, at least maybe until the championship or to the end, as a Netflix show or as a TV show. I'm going to, I realized I was seeing what was on TV the other night, and I saw the Bucks are playing your Philadelphia 76ers, Josh.
Yes,
right?
indeed, in Milwaukee.
And I thought, the Bucks have won the championship last year, just to remind you, and I think the philosophy that they're using right now is to not care about the regular season until we get to the playoffs, but that's beside the point. Even though it's a regular season game, if I watch Bucks, Brewers, Packers, whoever, and they lose, it's like I just watched a 2 to 3 hour show that I hated. That ended. You would never watch again. I would recommend it. If it was a TV show, I would absolutely hate it, especially the Packers when they lose. It's like a nightmare situation of watching it. So I said, after the Packers, and I don't know if I can do this for football because I'm such a fan, but for the Bucks, I thought, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if they win. If they win, I'm going to watch it. If they lose, I'm not going to watch it, because it's like you said, Josh. If now there's a vacuum cleaner going on in the background. If the Bucks lose and I don't watch it, did they really lose? Like, is it like a tree falling in the woods situation? For me, I have none of the stress. I experienced none of the pain. I know that it happened, but I didn't experience it, so it's not that bad. So what do you think about that?
Huge sigh here. I mean, come on. So what you're saying is that if you're going to look at the score at the end of the game, and
right.
If they win, you'll go back and watch the game.
Like I'm going to watch a good movie, right?
But here's the problem with that.
There's so many things wrong with this.
So many things wrong. But let's
besides this being actually David's topic. There's so many things wrong with it.
Do not judge my topic. And the more you judge my topic, the more you better bring it, buddy.
Let's take this in stride. Would you
Next week, by the way, everyone, Dave's going to be talking about his laundry.
Yeah.
Separating whites from colors. That's going to be the struggle.
That was my original topic, was not that far away from that. But all right, Mr. Interesting.
Would you
We clearly don't do pre-production anything.
Not even close.
Would you go see a movie if you already knew the ending?
No, but I would go to a movie if I knew. I wouldn't go to a movie if I knew it was bad. Like if I got a tomato rating of 12, I wouldn't go see the movie.
Right, but that's the difference between movies and sports. Movies, you can hear something is good and not know anything about it and want to go see it. Sports, you can't hear the end.
No. I understand that, but
it's
why do you do it
anticlimactic.
that way? Why we don't have to do it that way?
But the beauty of sports, and there goes my phone is ringing in the back. We're doing all sorts of background noise today. The beauty of sports is that you are on the edge of your seat, not knowing what the outcome is going to be. By knowing, I've watched plenty of games where I already knew the outcome because I wasn't able to watch it and I wanted to see it and I taped it and I either found out accidentally or whatever, what have you. But it's so different knowing that my team's going to win, and you just don't watch it the same way.
Of course, but everything's a pros and cons situation, right? Can you hear the vacuum cleaner, by the way?
No.
Okay. Boy, I sure can.
Wait, is that a Hoover 800?
Hold on, I have a question. Can we choose a vacuum cleaner over this question? Is that possible?
No, this is a legitimate question.
Maybe is that who's running the vacuum cleaner? Kathy?
Keep it closer, please.
Okay. So the person running the vacuum cleaner heard your topic and went, "Oh shit, I better get some noise out here to drown this out."
Well, actually, before they even knocked on the door to make sure it was okay to vacuum, and I ignored it like a professional.
Yeah, right.
And now they're going.
Well done.
So no, everything's pros and cons. Just like, the work from home. They say, well, work from home is good for these things. Work in the office is good for these things. It's all about pros and cons. The point is, which is better?
Let me ask you that. So when you did how you usually watch a game, right? And then invariably with the Packers, you do win, at least over the last 5 or 6 years. There usually is a positive ending, except for the playoffs, when they always lose.
The playoffs, that minor detail.
Yeah. But I guess my question is, when you rewatch the game under this new, theory you have, let's say it's a Bucs game or whatever, did you enjoy watching the game? Would you have the highs that you had when you didn't know?
Right.
Perfect question. So here's the deal. So when the Bucs played in the playoffs or the championship last year and they beat the Suns in Game 5, it was the greatest feeling because it was such a tight game. But I was, the experience wasn't completely positive. I think we won. I was elated at the end, but my stomach was in knots. Can I do that through a whole regular season, up and down? I think it kind of depends on how
much spare time do you have? I mean, how many games are you watching?
Well, I watched a lot of.
He only watches the wins.
Even then, I don't even watch all of those. But here's the thing: is if I knew I was going to watch a movie and I'd never go in saying, is it any good? Who cares? Let's just go. That's rare. I do that. I will always check to see if it's a show that is rated well or not. And to me, if the Bucs being the Sixers would be a 99 tomato rating. If they lose, it's a 2. It's a waste of time. It's 2 or 3 hours of waste of time. I take it hard. It bothers me and I'm mad. I could do something else. So yes, what Omar makes a great point. What happens is the ceiling is lowered a lot. The floor is way up there as well. I have squeezed my entertainment. So is the raising of that floor better?
This is basically called a Mac Jones.
You've called me 3 different NFL quarterbacks. You've called me Rex Grossman, Terry Collins.
Yes.
That's all your metaphors are like old bad quarterbacks.
Dave, I have bad news for you. You're trying to find a sports viewer fanatics loophole, and none exists. It doesn't exist. And I just could not watch. Even when I don't know the outcome, watching a taped game still feels different to me. It's not the same.
Yeah. Well, it's like certainly the ceiling comes way down. I 100% agree with that.
Even when I don't know the outcome, a taped game seems different to me.
Oh, yeah. I know that doesn't make sense, but it
doesn't make sense. But it's like if you're not watching it live, there's something off about it.
You are. But I'm taking. Yeah. There's a communal experience, I think, because you're disappointed at the same time that people you haven't seen are being disappointed or cheering at the same time. I get that, but I'm taking my non-important sports viewing, which is regular season basketball, regular season baseball. I'm actually thinking about maybe for football, just because I get so angry when they lose. Thinking about it.
No, don't do it.
And making it part of my entertainment lineup rather than
do you get as angry now watching these events as you did 10 years ago?
No, we've talked about this. It's not. There's definitely a level of maturity there, but it depends on the circle. I still get incredibly angry. But I told you in another podcast, I used to ruin my whole week when the Eagles would lose on Sunday, and now it ruins my Monday.
Yeah.
And then I'm past it.
I think that's fair. I think I'm in the same way. It's in the moment. I don't know if it's like how if I go an inch closer to the sun, is it hotter? I don't know. Like at the moment, I'm so angry. I can't tell if I'm less angry than 20 years ago, but it's
right, the
lingering effect.
Moment.
Yeah. I think it's lessens over the week, right?
Yeah, no question, because you have different priorities as you get older and more mature. But
you wouldn't do this. You think it's bad?
I would never do this. The whole appeal of being a fan is the ups and downs. The whole appeal
is uncertainty.
The uncertainty, the living on the edge of your seat.
I have to say, it does pale in uncertainty to thinking about what Dave's next topic's going to be.
Jeez.
Listen, hold on.
Welcome to the final episode of the FTS podcast.
Hold on. This is coming.
This is with me.
Hey, Kettle. This is coming from a guy who didn't know what to tell his dinner host.
I'm trending up.
Wasn't good.
I'm trending in the right direction.
That, but he used that topic twice, didn't he?
Twice.
I think you're.
I never said I was infallible.
I think he's projecting too.
Let me add one more point to my.
Please.
You know the story about Vinny Testaverde's dad.
No.
So Vinny Testaverde had a heart condition, so he could never watch his son's football games live.
Oh.
He could only watch them taped.
That's a good thing. He would have been dead a long time ago.
I know. Well, yeah, I'm sure at Miami or wherever he played, he won a lot of games. But then, yeah, in the NFL. Jets, no right? Good. Was he with the Jets?
Yeah, he was with a few teams, Jets and the Bucks. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was with a few teams.
So that I took that and I thought, well, I'm not as bad. My ticker is not on the verge of collapsing. Based on what Aaron Rodgers does, but it's like it's a similar idea that if there's a point where if it just bothers you so much, then you're basically putting at chance things that make you so angry that you could have some more control over. And so
can I ask you this, Dave?
What?
Are you thinking this just for the regular season, or would you actually do this in the playoffs too?
Undecided yet.
Yeah.
The Packers broke me this last game where I felt like I just spent 3.5 hours and I feel I hated every minute of it. I hate it now. I'm mad for days. But I do want to experience, the pain with everyone else, because when I get on Twitter and talk to other people and I have a Packer podcast, like it does mean, it deadens the feeling. So I think I would not do that for the Packers or the playoffs, but for the Bucks playoffs and the Brewers playoffs, I might.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. I can't even fathom this concept.
I'm taking the under on this. I think he does it for maybe 1 or 2 games and then he'll stop, go back to live.
It's under the philosophy of like trying to get rid of bad people in your life. And sports losses are like bad people. Get rid of them. I don't want them in my life anymore.
Yeah, but here's what sports losses do, by the way. So look, if I had taken that concept when the Eagles finally won the Super Bowl, I don't think I would have had the same elation.
That's
and I'm not
true.
even I'm talking about years and years and years and years of disappointment and frustration and anger, all culminated into one just amazing event and a feeling that I can't even describe and won't know if I'll ever even get back. You have to have all those scars in order to have that.
I understand. I agree with that. I just I actually created an algorithm on a spreadsheet based on all kinds of factors. What is like what's happening next day? How important is the game? Like I had all these factors and I rated them, and if they scored above a certain level, I'd watch it live, and if it was below, I was gonna not watch it live.
Oh,
so
that's interesting.
I should go back to that. I did do that for a little bit, and then we got away from it. So maybe I'll share that with you guys. So.
You are trying the impossible, like the Seinfeld roommate switch. It's just not possible.
Well, I'm glad you're here to set me straight. Omar, since you're so
boy.
For and so hot with your topics, why don't you go next?
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
All right.
This better deliver.
Okay, so this is
He's
something
thinking it up right now.
Knowing you guys, I have a little bit of a window. You guys aren't necessarily well, I kind of know the answer to this with both of you, but you guys believe in tipping.
Tipping.
Oh my gosh, that was going to be my topic. My
Are you
other topic was
serious?
going to be about tipping.
Oh my God.
That's
Okay,
hilarious.
this is going to be very.
I kid
Go
you
ahead.
not.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right, go ahead.
Keep going. Yes,
So
we believe in tipping.
I'm a big believer in tipping, and so for a variety of reasons. I'm staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel right now in Hollywood. Well, Beverly Hills. I'm staying at the Hollywood Hotel in Beverly Hills. No, anyway, I always stay at another hotel called the Chateau Marmont for 12 years. I've spent months there, months.
In London too.
Yeah, well, that's the Chiltern, but similar.
Yeah, Chiltern, same thing, right?
At any rate, it's heartbreaking when you invest all this time into a hotel like I did in the Chateau in Hollywood, and it shut down and no longer is a hotel because of COVID.
Oh wow.
So I had to reset, and my friends told me to stay here. So I checked into the Beverly Hills Hotel, which actually, by the way, is on the cover of the Eagles, Hotel California. It's an iconic hotel, etc. Has a polo lounge here, which is very well, whatever. So I go to the polo lounge on Monday, Valentine's Day, which is a very fancy restaurant, hard to get into. And I go to the maitre d' and his number two.
Fascinating topic, by the way. Yep, go on.
Well, my challenge was that I wanted to somehow get back the 12 years of investment I put into Chateau, because at this place I'm just somebody from Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
So I talked to the maitre d', and I think to myself, what is the most effective way to get treated like a regular without trying to buy them, right?
Well, without buying them?
Without trying to come across as trying to buy them.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
So I have an idea.
And you want to fast forward, right? The whole concept here is you want to fast forward. Yes.
Without writing a big check or something. Right.
Yeah, keep going.
I go back to my room. I come up with an idea. I go back to the front desk. The maitre d's name is Eric, and Mia is his number two. It's fairly crowded. Eric is no longer at the front desk. I decide to go in either way, undeterred. And I tell Mia the entire narrative about the Chateau, 12 years, 12.
Yep.
And I'm like, I really want to have that comfort and that sense of home here. But how do I get 12 years here? And Mia, I thought about it, and I'm like, the best way for me to do it probably is to put myself in their shoes and understand how difficult your job is. Eric is still nowhere to be found. Okay. I'm like, so when I thought about it, I realized how hard your job is. So I wanted to just give this to you. And I'm like, and I gave her $500. Okay.
What?
$500.
I think you.
I go. Didn't you forget
do
the part
your
of without
original
buying
premise?
It?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Let me be clear. Hold on. This is not for. I said to her, this is not for a table tonight. It is not. I want to be here for another 8 days, and I'll be coming back here hopefully for the next 20, 25 years. At any rate, blah blah blah. She's like, thank you. I leave. I come back half an hour later, hopefully thinking maybe I'll get a table. Run into Eric. He doesn't even recognize me. I don't think Mia ever gave him the money.
Oh, you said it was for Eric?
It's for the whole team. Yes, it's for Eric. Yes.
Did you say this is for the whole team?
Yes.
Okay, here's your mistake.
I think you might have implied it. I think
you made so many mistakes, it's ridiculous.
But is there any recourse? Can I ask Eric if he got any money from me?
Yes. I would ask Eric if he talked to Mia. Is that her name, Mia?
Mia.
Yeah, that's what I would ask Eric. Hey, did you get a chance to talk to Mia?
Well, but hold on. If he does that and he says yes, and then what do? Say, well, did she mention anything about anything? And if he says no, and then you bring up, I gave her $500, she gets in trouble. Omar's never going to be loved.
Exactly.
Omar.
I need to go get $500 more, basically, and corner Eric.
No, you didn't. You gave him $500?
I need to do that. Maybe that's what the actual. Give me some guidance. What do I do?
I have so many suggestions for you. The first thing was, if you wanted the immediate 12 years, the first thing I thought of popped into my head. You find out where the Chateau Marmont people got jobs that you already knew, that knew you. Are you all right?
Yeah.
He's got himself on mute. Good job muting yourself during that dry heaving episode you just got.
Oh no. You did.
Oh, jeez. Oh, God damn it.
He's an expert at the mute, though.
Oh, gross.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, do you see what?
Okay.
because they're hotel people. They're going to get jobs at other hotels.
How in the world would he find that out though?
Yeah.
You call around.
Okay.
or
LinkedIn. Get in
LinkedIn.
touch with people. Yeah.
What about LinkedIn?
I just spit out my drink, Josh. You said call around.
Call around. Perfect advice.
Yeah, this is Omar. Does anyone know Timmy? I don't know his last name. He's slightly overweight.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So yeah, I don't know what to do. It's a very
Well, can I also suggest this?
What?
Here's your other problem. If you want to give out 500, you don't give it to one person. Why don't you give 100 to 5 different people? Then you've attached yourself to 5 people there. You put all your eggs in one basket, hoping that person is there when you're there, when you need them.
I haven't seen her since.
She probably doesn't work there.
She's gone. I think she went to Mexico with the money.
She's done.
Well, what is it that you want? I know, like, do you want when you walk in to be like, hey, Omar, you want them to say hello to you? Do they want
like Norm at Cheers? Like Norm at Cheers.
You just want that. Is it something specific, or is it just sort of that unspoken? If there's a favor to be had.
If you look at, I saw a study on this a few months ago. When you
ask a study on this.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Wait a second. Let me finish this thought. I think you'll appreciate it, both of you. They asked people what is the most biggest sign of power, and the biggest
money.
The part of the pie chart. No, it wasn't money. Oh. It wasn't money. It was the ability to get a table at a restaurant where.
But that's money.
The real thing.
Underneath that is money.
Now, there's plenty of people who are rich who can't get a table at restaurants. It's not just money.
The concierge, pardon me from being from Wisconsin, is the concierge at the hotel going to be the influencer to get you a table at the restaurant at the hotel?
It helps at places like this, but it by no means. I mean, Jeffrey Katzenberg was in front of me in line, who's a famous movie producer.
It's not a podcast if there's not a name drop.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
Omar.
Yes.
Anyone can get a table with money. You just have to grease the person who's seating people. Of course it is. You grease the host.
Some restaurants that's probably not true though, right?
Of course it's not. If they have limited capacity, I have a lot of people with money who want to go to Rowell's in like Harlem or Polo Lounge.
Hold on. I was third in line the other day at Chipotle. I dropped a fin on the guy in front of me. Boom, second in line.
Yeah.
You know that my dad tips at McDonald's?
Yeah, that's weird.
He gives. But
don't they have a change thing at the front?
That's for charity.
Oh, it's for charity. Yeah.
Well, now I'm noticing it's always round up for charity. So
yes, round up.
So that's an easy one. But I do appreciate. I think this Omar has inspired me that for a little extra dollars that you can get a lot for it if you just being extra thoughtful for the people around you a little bit. Like the flight attendants was one that I think was a great one that I picked up on.
Yes.
I started to think about that more. Even like my window guy who's putting in windows in my place in Racine, we were talking and he likes certain kind of beer or whatever. And I was thinking like I was just going to, when he comes back, I was going to get him a case, just say, here, good luck, for no reason. Like he's going to do the job, but like just.
He never came back, right? He fell off a ladder. He was drunk.
But you know,
decision, yes.
You know what it is too, Dave. I'll tell you this.
That is funny. That might be the funniest thing you said.
That was funny. I do that too, but I do it. This is going to sound very cynical and wrong. I don't do it with the purest intention. I also do it like I had a guy do my patio, great guy, and I gave him a bottle of booze, like a nice bottle of booze, because I'm like, hey, I think you'd really like this, near the end of the job.
Yeah.
I did that because one, to show my appreciation, but two, I'm just going to admit it because I'm a human being. I also do it because I'm like, if he ever took a shortcut or something that I was not aware of, maybe this will have him go back and fix whatever shortcut. Of course, that's the reason. Right. Okay, all right. So
yeah.
So it's
not totally. I mean, I want to be a nice person, but I mean, it's even if nothing happens though, I would be okay with it. But if there is that favor, small one in the future that might be helpful, I want to be able to have the path opened up already for it. You know what I mean? It's like it's I've made the environment available that they'll be inclined to help me.
The one area I will say, because I'm probably the most generous tipper going out of my way that I know, but the one area where I have a big problem with tipping is bathrooms.
Oh yes, I hate it.
I
That's
can't
one of my
stand it.
topics. That's one of my topics for later on, and we don't have to get into it. But the whole bathroom attendant thing is a huge pet peeve of mine.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
But so here's a situation I had just yesterday. It's funny you bring this up. So we had a area rug delivered. Okay, we got a new area rug. And first of all, that's a whole nother topic because my wife, we rolled up the old area rug. She goes, "Let's keep this for the kids." I'm like, what are you talking about? My kids are, by the time this is crazy. One, they're not going to want this area rug. The reason why we're replacing it because it's old and it's got a couple like stains on it. Who the hell wants this thing? And now it's sitting in my garage because my wife wants to keep it for whatever hoarder reason. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject. But the guy came and delivered the rug, and it's a good sized rug, and he brought it in. It was very nice, and I'm like, do I tip him? I don't know. But the bigger problem I had, and this is the problem I have in general with tipping now, I don't carry cash anymore.
I know that is right. Right.
I don't have any.
You got to be thoughtful ahead of time for it.
At any time. I
You don't have like
cash.
a cookie jar?
No. Mm-mm.
You do, but it's full of cookies.
Yes, my cookie jar has cookies in it.
Or coins. What's a minimum tip now? Okay, would you ever tip anyone for anything $1? Is that
$5.
$5 is the minimum?
No,
I think that's right.
You do $1 like at the like if you're I haven't been to Starbucks in forever.
At,
If you're like Starbucks and you
Chipotle.
throw.
Oh, okay, yes, on a receipt or something. But I mean, actually passing a bill to someone. The one place I do is the bus that drives me from my car to the airport, the parking spot bus.
Oh yeah, parking spot.
That's
yeah,
like
yeah.
I feel like that's such a quick service that's the only one that I do $1 for. But if
But
do
do you have a buck ahead of time?
I try to
Okay,
remember that.
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't ever carry cash because I don't want to carry cash. I don't carry a wallet anymore.
Wait.
I don't. Yeah.
You carrying cash and having cash in your house are two different things.
I don't have cash in my house either. What do I need cash for?
Well, for tipping. No, that's why you have it. I mean, so
But
really
even
is.
the tip. But wait. The
Do you have a
tipping I
plumber?
do. The
Yep.
tipping I do. You don't tip a plumber.
Yeah, you do.
I
Because
don't
that
tip a
way, when
plumber.
something happens again, they'll prioritize you.
No, I am a.
Gosh,
I
you don't
am.
think
I'm
strategically.
I'm a drinks and food guy with like a plumber. I'm like, hey, you want something to drink? You want something to eat? I do that every time with anyone who works in my house. But not tipping. You don't tip like the guy who services your HVAC.
David, do you have a view on this? Because how often you're
Well,
like, oh,
no
my
more
plumber, I
beer
can't get him
because
more.
that was a bad idea. I got a sloppy job and he's no longer with us. I like that. I'll call it in heights. I should separate those two things. I don't think I do, but I think I should.
No.
I should do it more. And it's either an item. Item is a thoughtful gift I think is great, but it's hard to think of what is the plumber who I have no idea what to give other than cash.
PVC pipe. They love it.
Maybe. Well, so I actually think I'm leaning more and more toward Omar's view on this. I do want to, and this might answer my question here. When you have your car valet, do you tip on both the front and back end? I've always tipped on the back.
No, back end.
It depends on where the cars are being taken. You know,
What?
because sometimes when you're leaving, it can take like 10, 15 minutes to get your car. I don't have that kind of time. So I want to prioritize my ability to get out.
Okay, Omar. Here's how to solve that.
I tip sometimes as I'm sitting down at dinner. I'll get the waiter
Get up
$20.
in the middle of just
What you
mid,
know?
mid
or
meal
100.
valet tip.
There's two ways to solve your valet tipping problem. The first is you take the bill out and make it noticeable when you give the valet guy your keys. Like, this is for you.
Dangle it.
When you yes.
Yeah.
Or you just give it to him when you give him your ticket.
Yeah, which by the way, you just hit another topic with me on this, where I got caught once. So basically, when you go to like Starbucks or somewhere else where there's a tip jar, I'll give like $10,
$10.
$5, $10, $20 even sometimes.
$600.
And sometimes I'll do it. It's happened before, and when I put the money into the jar, the people don't see me do it because they're making their drink.
It's the
That's
same
like
problem I
George-
had at the hotel.
That was
So I-
Costanza. That was
I have
Costanza.
taken the money out of the jar before.
Oh yeah,
And I'd be
George
caught.
Costanza did that. It's an episode of Seinfeld.
Did he? I don't
Yes.
remember that one.
He's getting calzones for Steinbrenner, and he wants the tip for his paisans, and he throws it in there, and the guy turned his head while he's doing it, and then
you're right.
goes in to get it so he can see him tipping in the tip jar.
This has happened IRL with me.
But
Double click.
here's an app that should be made. I'd like to call it the tipping app, where anyone who works in the tipping related industry, valet, hairdresser, what have you, they have the app, and then you can tip via that app directly to that person. Because cash.
All right. Wait. Have we covered this topic before?
No, we have not. I've said this to you before, Dave.
Okay.
Yes, in casual conversation.
Confusing real life with the podcast.
Yes,
Isn't that Venmo though? Isn't that Venmo?
No, it's not. It's not Venmo, because it's got to be something that's quick, simple, and both people have, and you're within earshot of one another. Venmo, you need to know their thing.
Yeah.
You don't want people with your Venmo that all these people that you want to tip, and then you got to ask them what's your Venmo. If you have this tipping app, almost like an airdrop, I want to do it. Yeah. Yes, I want to do it like an airdrop, and then I could tip someone. Boom, right away. Here's a couple bucks. There you have it. Because no one carries cash. No one. At least I do not carry cash. So my tipping is all done with my credit card on the second line before I total it up. That's all my tipping, because I don't have cash. So valet is very difficult for me. I haven't valet parked my car in years, but that would be very difficult for me. I don't have cash.
Well, when you do valet, though, it makes more sense to tip on the front end, because, like Omar said, I want to make sure they treat the car right and put it in a parking spot that's, I want them beating them up. And
that's true. Good point.
And but I can't not tip at the end. That's like, that'd be a pariah. I mean, that would be terrible not to tip at the end. So I think I got to tip both times. And I'm sure, is that, Omar, that's what you do? You probably tip on both times.
It's too much.
In a new place, like a hotel like this, I'm like a Bugsy in Las Vegas. Is that his name, Bugsy?
Bugsy Bunny? No, just Bugs Bunny.
No, what was the movie with
Bugsy Malone? Bugsy Malone.
Bugsy Malone. Bugsy Malone would have been a better way to put it. Yeah, but I'm very tip friendly. And it's had a positive impact on my life.
I think you're right. I think I need to be more generous and more thoughtful. And I think whether you pay it forward and I see it or not, I think there's something more. I should do this more. I think that's a valuable lesson for all three of us podcast listeners to this podcast.
It doesn't
I would
hurt.
say, Josh, for you, I think that your plumber probably prefers $20 cash, or maybe $50 rather than a Diet Coke.
Have you
and a hoagie
and a ham sandwich.
Have you had my pound cake?
That's true. Your pound cake.
Although I will tell you a quick plumber story. So when I was a bachelor living with my buddy, we had a problem with our toilet. It was clogged and it was gross, basically. And we got a plumber. The guy comes and he's like elbow deep in our bowl. I mean, it was disgusting. Oh. And we said, I offered him, hey, you want anything to drink or eat? He's like, yeah, you got any snacks? And I said, I got pretzels. He said, I'll take some pretzels. So I gave him a bag of pretzels. I watched this dude stick his gross hand in the bag of pretzels, eat the pretzels, and go right back to work and go back and forth. Yes. It was so vile. It was vile.
Wow. How hard was it to finish that bag of pretzels then?
Well, I had to scrape the top layer off. There's no way I was going to get the top layer.
Yeah, it's such a waste.
A waste.
In college. Yeah, too bad you didn't have video on your phone for that story. There
were. I don't think at that time we had video on our phones. That was in the flip phone days.
Would have been a great TikTok.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. That was so gross. I remember with my roommate and we're watching. I'm like, did he just do that? It was disgusting.
Well, Omar, did we solve your problem with your hotel? I feel like
I have to tell you, I'm having some trouble with Josh right now, and
why?
I'm just a little annoyed.
I gave you good solutions.
No, it's not with the advice. I think that it's like, I'll put it to you this way, Dave. So it's the quote Josh's approach to like him not having cash, so he can never tip.
No, it's not that.
It's the same. No, because you don't carry cash. You only have a card. I understand.
I don't want to carry a wallet. I don't carry a wallet. I don't have room for cash.
Josh, my point is that it's you know that if you had cash, it could come in handy to tip people, but you don't want to have it. You choose not to have it in advance rather than, and your excuse is always, I don't have cash. I don't have cash. Get cash. have like
No.
$100 just in your house.
No.
He
Well,
wants to
because you're
create an
cheap.
app.
No, it's not. It's nothing to do with that. I don't want to carry cash. I
Okay.
don't want to carry anything but my phone. I have a thing at the back of my phone. I keep my driver's license in there. I keep my credit card in there. And that's it.
Dave, what I'm thinking right now, remember Geraldo when he like got into Al Capone's like vault?
Yeah, Vault, Capone's vault. Yeah.
Josh has one of those in his house full of cash.
Or someday we'll go into Josh's house and yep, no cash. He was right. There's nothing
I
valuable.
want to see. I want to see.
Except
Or
for
you
a throw
picturing,
rug.
like-
What's this
like-
throw rug doing here?
The throw- Why is this old throw rug here? Oh
Be
my
worth
God.
Area rug. Yeah.
I can't tell. I can't even. I tell you this. I don't even remember the last time I went to an ATM. Don't even remember. And by the way, even carrying credit cards annoys me. I don't want to carry a credit card. Everyone should have Apple Pay. Every place should have Apple Pay. I hate taking out my credit card.
Cash? Do you have petty cash in your house?
Yes. But that would be random. That would be out and about. But it would be in someone's purse or wallet. But I usually carry cash with me. Yeah. I usually will always, if I'm out, I would go to the ATM and get some cash just to have. And then
I don't carry my ATM
If I have
card.
a chance and I have only 20s, I would say, hey, can I have 10,
Instead of
5,
having
and
cash,
5?
Josh apparently has a closet full of pound cake and Diet Coke. Is giving away his gifts.
a whole closet full.
That's the
pound,
world.
It's pound cake and tab.
This is
I
crazy.
The old tab.
By the way, I'll also add, you also are perpetuating a stereotype, Josh, as being a Jewish
I'm not.
American.
No, it's
Being a
not.
Jewish American.
I am a tipper, first of all. I told you I'm a tipper. If there's a line on on the credit card thing, I'm a tipper every single time. And 99 times out of 100, I pay with credit card, I can tip that way. It's that one-off time where it's only cash, where I don't want to carry cash. I don't want to
by the
carry
way,
anything.
David, I'm gonna ask you for your ruling in a second. I have one last thing to say in front of this.
Is it also anti-Semitic, or is this going to be a little
No, it is not.
Are you going to call him an old quarterback?
Yeah.
I'm trying to protect the Semitic. That's why I brought it up. So, all right, David, here's my last point. When you give tips in cash, it's worth 2 to 3x more the dollar than it is on your credit card because of taxes.
Why?
Taxes.
Oh, taxes. Yeah.
It's worth a lot more to people. But I guess I don't know if they tax pound cake. So I don't think that actually has
You do. Well, hold on.
I think
Let
you
me
might
tell
have
you,
to declare.
Omar,
Do you give them a receipt?
My pound cake is so good, you have to declare it on your.
You do?
It's priceless. So you have to. I give everyone a.
Imagine the tax hit on a priceless item.
I give everyone.
Just
I give
created such a tax burden.
I wait till they take their first bite, then I hand them a 1099. I said, "You, my friend, just made a huge mistake."
Oh my God.
You'll be hearing from the IRS pound cake eater.
Yeah.
I don't catch that pound cake. Oh my God.
Oh my
All
God.
right, well, we better move to our last topic. Josh, what you got?
Okay, here's what I got. So look, this I want to talk about a show that I don't watch on the regular, but something about the show I just discovered that kind of bothers me. So flipping through stations, I don't DVR this show. I don't watch it religiously. It's not something I seek out. But when I'm bored and flipping around and I see like, oh, it's in the guide, I'll flip over to it. So
Wait, can I flipping through stations right there? You mean metaphor?
Guide. I mean the guide. The guide.
Guide,
You flip
okay.
through the guide, right?
Right.
No one flips through stations. No one's doing channel up, channel down anymore.
All right, thank you.
Right. It is the guide. You push the guide and then you go through the stations that way.
Okay.
But I do miss those days where you do channel up and you'd catch like a half a second of each show and you keep going.
At the end of Shawshank or something. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was so good at that. I would know exactly what was on each channel just flipping through. And I remember when I was I think I was engaged or just dating my wife. She'd be like, "You're going too fast. I can't see what's on." It was ridiculous.
Trust me. Just hold on.
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, I can see everything. Omar, are you on?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the show I'm talking about, I don't know if either of you have seen it or watch it regular or whatever, is Dr. Pimple Popper. You ever see Dr. Pimple Popper?
I know. I have seen
Dr. Pimple Popper?
Okay, so let me
I've seen the
describe
commercials, and the commercials are gross.
Yes. So this is a dermatologist out. I think she's in California, and the idea is that you get to see like 3 or 4 patients every episode, but these patients are not typical patients. It's not, oh, I have some bad acne, whatever. They have ridiculous things you've never seen before.
Like
that she
goiters.
Yes.
Goiter-sized pimples. Yes.
Yes. And it's fascinating.
Goiters.
It's fascinating because you're like, whoa, I've never seen anything like that, number one. And then it's also fascinating when you see how she removes it and what's inside. It's just absolutely vile. It's absolutely vile. So that's not my problem.
Wait, hold on. Are there bags of pretzels around as well? Or not?
Yes, there are. She offers everyone a bag of pretzels as she's popping their enormous zit. But here's my issue with the show that I started to pick up on. Because you just watch it, you're really watching it for that effect, for when they reveal what they have, and then she does something and explodes with pus and blood, and it's gross.
Is it always a popping procedure?
Sometimes it's popping. Sometimes she's using a scalpel and getting in there.
Yeah.
And sometimes when she just uses a scalpel, it explodes. It's
that's so gross.
It's vile. Sometimes it's like cottage cheese, and other times it's like this yellow pus. I mean, it's just disgusting.
Wait, sorry, on a question like this, you guys are both married. You guys are both in, I suspect, at least from a distance, healthy relationships.
Yes.
Did either one of your wives ever?
For the audio, yes.
Yeah.
Did any? When I've had girlfriends, which have been, sometimes I do have them. They often like to pop my pimples
stop.
and my zits.
Right.
No, they love it.
They
love it. It's a way of them grooming. By the way, it's a very tribal thing. Is that the right word? It's grooming. But they use their fingernails. They'll get in there and they'll pop it and they'll show me what's in there. And I'll and then I'll.
Is this a first date? Sometimes.
No.
Is this a fetish? Are you on a fetish site? Is that where you're meeting these women?
Yeah, and have you left out the part of where you asked them to do this?
Yeah.
I have not asked them. I don't know. Sometimes it's like behind your ear.
Listen, when you tip your date, when you tip your date $500, she's willing to do anything.
Hey, you pay one way or another, all right? I think on the front end or the back end.
Popping pimples ain't free.
Oh my God.
That's what Chappelle says. Popping pimples ain't free.
Josh is giving them pound cake, so he's not getting any kind of treatment.
I'll take pound cake over what you're giving.
Wait, what the hell? What the fuck is even what is pound cake? I don't know what that even is. Is that
Are you being
Sarah
serious?
Lee? What comes in that little cake, Sarah Lee?
You've never heard of pound cake?
No, it's another album by Van Halen or a song. I don't know.
I don't think so. No.
It is the blandest of cakes, though. It's
not a good one. Not a good moist pound cake.
But
I don't use that word often. Moist.
What flavor is a pound cake?
It's no flavor. It's pound cake flavor.
It's pound cake flavor. Yeah, that's right. Does it have like a drizzle on it and stuff?
No, just good old fashioned straight pound cake.
Yeah.
When did you last make pound cake?
I don't make pound cake. It's for conversational humor.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Pound cake is funny. Pound cake is funny. If I said baked Alaska, not as funny.
If you said pretzels.
I think on our next podcast, I want to interview the plumber that comes to Josh Kaplan's house and ask him.
Plumber was so long ago. This was so long ago.
We can interview the wife of the window guy, the widow.
I don't live in that town anymore. The widow. Yeah, that's right. I don't understand what happened, Doc. He just keeled over one day. Yeah, Mrs. Johnson, your husband had 80 pounds of feces in his colon that wasn't his.
Anyway. So are you watching the show?
So look, that's the show, okay? So you get the idea of the show. Here's what I've noticed here's what I started to realize, because each one comes in and they give, she asks them questions about their growth or whatever. Now, these growths, by the way, let me tell you this. These are not normal little growths. These things are enormous. The guy walked in on the episode I saw. He was like Quasimodo with like an 8-pound bowling ball sticking out of his shoulder blade. I mean, the thing was ridiculous. And here's what I've discovered, and this is what disturbs me. And I'm curious as to whether this is just me or you guys too. But she always asks them, "Oh, how long have you had this?" And inevitably the answer is like, "I've had it about like 10 years." And 10 years? 10 years?
Oh my God.
You've been walking around with a bowling ball on your shoulder? 10 years? If I found a little growth, maybe a 16th of that size, I'd be at the doctor's office tomorrow I would not be waiting 10 years. Hey, it's getting bigger. Look at it. It's getting bigger each year.
Yeah.
Hey, you think I should check this out? You think a doctor might want to look at this disgusting growth that's sticking out of my pelvis?
Yeah. Well, that's
Anyway.
who is in these people's lives that are not encouraging them to go get it checked out? Is they either are very stubborn, or they're alone, or they have people that don't care about them.
My question is this a thing on our healthcare system? Is this about our? Do these people not have insurance and they're like, I don't want to get this checked out because it's going to cost me a fortune, and therefore I'm going to wait till I get on a reality show.
Wait a second, are you going to bring up Joe Manchin right now?
I'm not bringing up Joe Manchin.
Okay, thank God.
I am not bringing up Joe Manchin.
Yeah, this is not an infrastructure bill.
What I'm saying is I'm just trying to understand, because every person on the show, every person without fail, has had their disgusting growth for years, if not decades. This is not, I discovered it last month. Can you look at it, Doc?
Well, you got to ask yourself if they would have never got it taken care of, but they were found by the show, and the show is what got them to check it out in the first place. So if without the show, they never would have got it fixed.
No, because they all have like every one of them is in tremendous pain, or they can't put their pants on the right way, or they can't wear shoes. There's another show called My Feet Are Killing Me, which is a very similar concept, which I actually do watch.
Sidebar, please.
But it's the same thing. They don't get this shit checked out for years.
Between these two shows and My 800-Pound Life and
600-Pound Life
and 30-Day Fiance,
90-Day
Fiance. I'm just curious. I mean, what is this, like the depths of depravity that you watch? Do you watch this by yourself? Like, does your wife watch it with you? Like,
My wife watches it with me. She'll deny it, but she does. She loves every bit of it as much as I do.
Have there been any shows that she says no to, or can you watch anything and she'll watch it with you?
Pimple Popper's got to be right around that line.
I mean,
she loves Pimple Popper. Pimple Popper.
Man.
No, there's certain shows that I watch on my own that she's just like, nah, I'm not watching it. Like, but
what about
that's not
Sister Wives? Are you into Sister Wives?
I love Sister Wives. Fantastic show.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is also part of the issue. Like, Sister Wives is about a polygamous family. The family's falling apart right now, by the way. The show's been on like 14 years. But it sounds awful, but it's awesome that they're falling apart. It's such good television. You're sitting there going, of course it doesn't work. You can't have 4 wives. It just doesn't work. It's not going to go smoothly. Yeah. It's just not.
Unless they're best friends and the exact same age. As soon as you introduce, I think, a new young wife, the whole thing's got to fall apart.
Exactly.
I can't imagine.
The first season was hilarious. It was like, oh, this life is amazing. The best part about this relationship is we're sister wives. We have each other. We have each other as best friends. So we don't need our husband all the time. And we can watch each other's kids. And you're like, oh, wow. On paper, that makes a lot of sense. Wouldn't that be cool?
Sure. So what goes wrong?
What goes wrong is jealousy. What goes wrong is they start living different lives. They have different interests. Then they start pissing each other off because they constantly see each other. They're in close quarters, and it's just it's a recipe for an
I feel like you guys are giving me guidance here. So what should I do?
Finally, you recognize it.
What do you mean? What should you do? You should you tip Mia $100, then you tip Eric $100, then you tip 3 other people $100. There's your $500. Went much further than one person. That's what you should do.
And only marry one woman at a time.
Correct.
One person at a time.
I looked at that and that was my first intro to that. I'm like, you know what? This is pretty cool, because this dude just goes from wife to wife and just rotates, and you'd be like, wow, this is a really cool existence.
Was the dude happy?
None of them are happy. It's a complete
Even the guy's
cluster.
Not happy.
It's awful. He's not happy at all.
I bet you the fights, it can't make him happy.
It's unreal how this family has unraveled. It's unbelievable, and it's great TV. I feel bad, but I don't. But it's
the same family for 14 years, or it's just
Oh, the show's been on for like 14 years. The show's
always
been on.
Different family.
No. It's the same family. They've been following the same family. This guy's
Are they in Utah? I'm assuming.
They used to be in Utah. They moved to Vegas. Now they're in Arizona.
I wonder if they watch. Josh, do they watch live games? You think there, or do they only watch games after?
I think they tape everything. Because they have, like, the guy's got like.
He doesn't have time to watch sports.
He's got 30 kids.
I would recommend. He's got in a great position where if he's going to spend time 3 hours on a game and blow off 3 of his wives, he better be a game that his team won.
That's exactly right.
So don't waste your time. So what's the question? Is Pimple Popper?
So
is something wrong with you for watching Pimple Popper? I think
No.
the answer is yes.
No. That's not the question. I already know there's something wrong with me. That's not
Okay.
that's not what I want to dig in here. What I want to dig in here is, am I crazy that to look at this and I want to scream through the TV, get that checked out now?
Yeah.
I mean, is that?
Your question, right?
Yeah. Am I missing something here? Is it a socioeconomic thing? It might be. It could be a healthcare thing.
Clearly,
it could
there's a correlation.
I don't know what it is, but I just can't fathom having a growth on my inner thigh that irritates the hell out of me every time I take 2 steps, which is.
Well, let me ask you this, Josh. Like, I'm assuming this guy. Let's say his name is what's the guy's name from Mutsumoto with the hump?
Quasimodo.
Quasimodo probably had a few people say to him, "Hey, Quasimodo, you should probably have that checked out." He's like, "Yeah," and he doesn't do it, right?
No.
My point is, like, you yourself,
he didn't have any health
David,
care. He had no health care.
Me too.
He couldn't leave the cathedral.
Here's the deal, though, with these people. They're either in pain, in tremendous pain, number one, or they are so embarrassed by what they have, they don't go out in public.
There could be that. Yep.
No, this is the case almost every time, or it's a combination of those two, or it's obstructed their breathing, or they can't walk right, or they can't lift their arm, or something. There's something. It's not just this is ugly. It goes way beyond that. Wouldn't that be enough for them to go, I just have to do something about that. I don't get it. I don't know how you live with something like that for 10 to 15 years and not take steps. If I was destitute, I'd be saving up solely for that. I wouldn't spend a dime outside of necessity for anything other than saving to get this ridiculous growth removed and looked at.
Oh, I'm sure you could show up in an ER and say, I'm in extreme pain, and you could deal with the payment later. But I think one of the factors that you're not, and maybe it's talked about in the show, I think there's a fear of going to the doctor. So I think that the fear is greater than the solution. Like, you're afraid of what's going to happen, and maybe I have cancer. Like, you just don't want to know the answer.
But you're definitely right. There is that angle. But still, I mean, wouldn't you have to get over that fear in 15 years, in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years time? Because it's not just it's unsightly. It's that it's bothering you. It's making your life hell. It's making their lives hell. Isn't that worse than a fear of a scalpel or a fear of learning a bad prognosis? I mean, I think I'm too rational.
Well, no, the human mind, you become accustomed to things and you adapt, right? So, like, for example, like, I've adapted to the fact that David usually has terrible topics. So it's
good Lord,
easier.
You anti-Semitic comments. You alienate yourself.
It will be that much easier. I probably won't even say anything. I'll just be like, oh, it's great.
I'll have you know that my original topic was tipping, and I passed it for my others. So I disregarded your topic so much I didn't even bring it up.
I knew when Omar was silent for that last 3 minutes that he was just trying to come up with something, some zinger.
Yeah.
And that was the result right there. That was your result.
Omar is the huge pimple on my back that I wish someone would pop.
Yeah, you need to see Dr. Lee.
Why wouldn't you get to take care of it?
You are the Quasimodo of our group, Dave. So this actually
you're the hump. You're the hump.
I'm the hump. Yes, well said.
Well, on that note, this is probably our longest podcast.
Oh, geez, yeah.
So hopefully this is transferable to each other or something, but we'll figure it out. But that's our episode, and look forward to talking to you all next week. For
can I do a plug?
Comments? Sure.
You do this every time. As soon as you cut off Dave's sign off every time.
Go sponsor.
Go ahead.
So when I'm looking to get a fade or a term, or sometimes just to have a conversation with a friend, I'd like to go to Lou & Sons. LouandSons.com. Thank you.
Is that LouandSons.com?
Correct.
All right. So please go there. Josh, our check's in the mail. And
Pound cakes in
the
the
high
mail.
one, if some random person staying at a concierge desk is $500, imagine what we got for a full hour. All right, well, that's our episode for this week. For Dave, Josh, and Omar, see you later.
See ya.
Bye.